Fitness Pro Mentor community, what is going on? A little music issue there, but welcome to the Fitness Pro Mentors podcast. Very excited to have you here. The first episode of 2024. It's a snow day here, apparently, but so far it's pretty good outside. How are you doing today, Glenn?
Happy New Year, everyone. I'm doing great. Great workout today. Very productive so far. Loving life. What about yourself, Brandon?
Good so far. Many clients so far. We got this, some more clients, hopefully some snow. Who knows?
Who knows?
2024. Making some big changes with Fitness Pro Mentors I'm really excited about. I'll tell you really quickly, in our back end, we're teaching a lot of the same principles, but we've been able to refine them to make small systems, make it very measurable and digestible. And one of the things I'm committing to this year from Glenn and Taylor's conversation is we are making a series of checklists and even templates, other things that will help us make it as simple as possible. One of the things I want to make sure through Fitness Pro Mentors for you as a personal trainer is you have everything you need to grow your business, but also with our industry, we trade time for money. And if we can systematize the things that help us grow our business to make it less time so we can focus on working with clients, which I love to do and I know Glenn loves to do, it helps a ton. So we're making it as simple as possible this year. So that way, if you join our program, there's a lot of incredible simple templates to help you go faster, checklists to make sure you feel good about it. And second, also, if you're listening to this, we've got 3 different options that we're offering now to help it make it more affordable for someone who's a brand new trainer. So if you're someone who's under 5K and you're literally trying to get your first few clients, if you're someone who's a single trainer trying to hit their first 10K month, or you're actually someone who's a gym owner and you're trying to scale your entire team all the way up to 50K months, let me know. I'd love to tell you about the things that we're doing in our back end. Really excited. But today, I want to talk about something I'm far more excited about. I want to give you one simple tool, a ton of value, one impactful thing that you can do to start getting more clients that is fun, not salesy at all, and extremely organic and genuine. Glenn, what do you think it is?
Oh, I think it's the text message referral system.
Oh, I thought you were going to say give beer to people.
No, we don't get people drunk here.
Just kidding. So text message referral system. One of the things that we've been talking about for many years is how to use lead magnets. Glenn, tell people, what is lead magnet? What do people do with it?
Yeah, so lead magnet, otherwise known as an ebook or a video or something that you can give somebody to help build value, something to give them in exchange for their information. But ultimately what you're trying to do is you're trying to take leads that are colder, very cool, or warm and make them scorching hot. And we do this by providing value. For example, this podcast could be seen as a lead magnet in one way or another. If we happen to run into somebody at a conference and they tell us a little bit about themselves and they're struggling with an aspect of their business, we can say, hey, we actually host a podcast and we actually talked about this exact thing you're struggling with. Let me send it to you. Here's a link. Check it out. Let me know what you think. And then just like that, we've got a new lead into our system. And because we're helping them directly with the problem they've expressed, they now see more value in what it is that we do and they become a warmer, hotter lead. So it's a way to give value, give some real help to people in the world that need it, but also turn potential leads into warmer, hotter leads.
I love it. And so if you think about this as it is content that is actually helping you scale and grow your business, one way or another, right? A lead magnet helps you grow your audience. A lead magnet may help you get a sale. A lead magnet may help you generate a connection. Anything that helps you garnish a connection and grow your business is something that's on the table as far as a lead magnet goes. So what we're going to talk about today is my favorite. We've all talked to our clients about referrals. You've probably heard, if you've thought about growing your business at all, you got to ask for referrals. You got to ask for referrals. And referrals are an extremely important part of this process. If you're doing such a good job and Glenn loves what we're doing, he goes, you know what you got to do? I got a guy for you. You got to talk to Brandon, right? That is an incredibly powerful thing. It's an indicator that the experience and the results you're providing to that individual is so good that they'll tell their friends about it. And they're even willing to think of creative ways to sell the idea to their friends. And in fact, in my opinion, that's the hardest part of this referral process. When I'm trying to get you to give me a referral, I have to trust that the client understands what I do enough, understands the pains of their friend, and understands a way to deliver it. So they hear it and go, I do need to call Glenn. Yes, he is expensive, but I'm still going to make that phone call. But that's complicated, isn't it? You have to trust that the client can sell you. What do you think?
It's tough because the client doesn't have the same level of communication about what it is that you do. And they also, unless they're in sales or they're an entrepreneur themselves and they own their own business, they probably don't have the sales background that you have as well. So it can be a tough sell, so to speak.
So here's what I'm going to tell you guys to do. And I will tell you, if you start working on this, this will be a way that you can guarantee new relationships and potentially get new clients. And it's worked for me. I know it's worked for Glenn. And I think it's worked for a few of the trainers in our facility. The text message referral method. Cheesy marketing name, but it does work. If you have clients, your clients have friends and family that are in front of them that are likely struggling to some degree with something. Many of my clients have arthritis, muscle damage, joint pain, or something that just doesn't feel good in their body. If they have something like that and they're over the age of 50, statistics would show me that many people over the age of 50 have arthritis, joint wear. Many people over the age of 50 have shoulder issues, rotator cuff issues. So if we know this, and I have a client that I've seen for 10 years, it is likely that his wife, brother, family member, mother, father, someone in his world may struggle with something from time to time. Now, I'm not fishing for these people to identify who in their world is hurting, but I'm genuinely interested. I'm always interested. Hey, Glenn, how's Louisa doing? How's the family doing? Mom and dad are good. And if you can get information from them, you can start to identify, you know what? Louisa's doing great, but she was at a competition and she hurt her knee. Hurt her knee? What happened? And now you can start to actually genuinely care about this client and their family member. Over time, you can start to build more trust and rapport with the client in front of you to learn more about their family member. The more you learn about their family member, what do you get to do?
Yeah. Talk to them more about their family member. Maybe perhaps see if it makes sense for you two to connect, to see if you can help them further. Just help them, not sell them on anything. Just see if you can give them some advice in some which way or form.
I think one of the most amazing things that we get to do is what we do is we use exercise to help people with whatever goal. And if someone, Glenn is trying to say to his family member, you got to go see Brandon. He's amazing at what he does. What you're struggling with, you can't just do the traditional approach, and you can't just see chiropractors necessarily. You can't just get massage. You should try this exercise guy. He does some really amazing stuff. But most people are skeptical of a new guy, a new person, because how many people have been tried to be sold on new services, new things, brand new, exciting ideas? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to help them for free. Very simply. What I love to do is I'll inquire with my clients and learn as much information about their family member. Over time, those clients will start to build more trust and rapport with me. My one client that I did a little social media post about has been working with me for 10 years, twice a week. And he's referred me people time to time, but he's never mentioned his brother-in-law, which just came up literally 2 weeks ago, So 2 weeks ago, he mentioned his brother-in-law with a specific injury, and I came upstairs and I said, Darren, tell you what, no pressure. I didn't even ask his permission to do it. I just said, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run upstairs. I'm going to record a video for your brother-in-law, offering some suggestions to help him out. Very simple. I'll send the video over. If you think it's valuable, send it to him. I don't need to hear from him. If he wants to talk to me, I'll happily jump on a phone call with him, but zero pressure. I just don't like hearing people struggling like this. And I just sent the video out. The most beautiful thing happened, and this is not the first time it's happened, not the first time I've talked about it, but the first time I've talked about it on this podcast in this form. That information helped his brother-in-law. Within a couple days, he noticed a change. But it only took him so far, because how much can you explain in one video? You can't create a full progression routine in one little video. That 2-minute video enticed him to reach out to me so we could jump on a call. And we jumped on a call. And he said, when are you available? I love this because we get to give more. We've been talking about giving so much more. I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, there's a couple things that come to my mind here. I always really appreciate when I find tools that seem very unique that I haven't seen anyone else use before that can highlight perhaps the uniqueness and individuality that maybe I possess, that you possess, or the things that we can share that no one else can really do. The stuff that makes us us. And so when I think about this, how many other people, honestly, think about it. How many other people have shared this idea of a text message referral to you? The idea that step one, you have a genuine interest in people's family and family members of their health. Step two, when they bring up an issue that somebody has in their family, you offer to create a video for them just to help them with their problem, give it to that client, the client gives it to them. Step three, if the person wants, the ball is in their court. I've never heard anyone ever talk about this before, and it's absolutely brilliant because it's not pushy or salesy at all. It's educational. It's a lot on the giving end. And because you are taking the time to help somebody best you can, customize something for them, it goes a long way. I read a book when I was younger. I really liked it. It was called How to Win Friends and Influence People. Not the best name for a title in this day and age, especially the influence people part. And you don't really want to win friends. You want to be more relational. But that's not the point. I think point number 2 in that book was the sweetest sound to any human being is their own name. Another way of saying that or putting that is people really appreciate when things are customized or tailored or unique to them. When I get gifts for people that are allied professionals of Strata, I actually go and I get them custom mugs and I put their logo on it. And that's really great to help me continue to build and nurture relationships with our allied connections and allied professionals. Same idea here is that if you're creating a very unique exercise video to the best of your ability for somebody's family member where you're saying their name, you're talking about progressions for them, and they really get the feel that it's for them, customized, tailored, it's a unique thing that you created just for them and no one else has it, that goes a really long way. Because it indicates that you didn't just put in time into one thing that you're sharing with a whole bunch of people, you put time into just them with no expectations. And people absolutely love that. On the flip side, psychologically, people don't like being in debt to other people. I'm not saying this is Brendan's intention. Brendan and I actually haven't even discussed this at all. But when people get something for free, they're far more likely to want to give back to you or reach out to you or connect with you to say thank you or to share with you or to be involved in your world because human beings like to be square. That's just how we work psychologically. And so by giving as much free stuff as you can that's custom to people, giving your free time, they value you more. I'm willing to bet that Brandon, some of the relationships that he has that are strong with his clients, he goes above and beyond for some of them. Now, we all try to go above and beyond for our clients, don't get me wrong, but there are some people that we just tend to spend a little bit more time with. My client, Jonathan, who had a disectomy, has MS, a bunch of back issues. I've spent a little extra time outside my day connecting with him, seeing how he's doing, helping with his programming, stuff outside my time that I might not do with everybody in my world. But because of that, we built a really strong relationship. And just the other day on Monday, he said, I got a couple I know, both with severe back problems. Do you have any time in your schedule? Because I'd love to connect them with you because they could really benefit from your services. I said, sure, that's great. And so this is where this concept comes from. We're just taking the idea of giving as much as you can and tailoring it to individuals, and we're putting it in this text message strategy and format. You could do this with videos, you could do this with posts, you could do this in any number of different ways. Video is just the quickest, simplest, and easiest because you can quickly record it for a couple minutes and send it off. Really, really simple. Really simple.
And then Glenn nailed something there. And it's like he's talking about like his client, Jonathan. There are clients that are going to be mavens, that are people who are perfect clients for you that can afford your services and have the problems. And at the same time, they probably are well-spoken or could be well-spoken. And if they know more people like them, definitely taking the time to build those relationships with them really goes a long way. People who are mavens, who speak on my behalf and try to sell me, I do spend the extra time, like Glenn, and I would encourage you to do the same thing, to do everything you can to help them. If you do something small, like they message you on a Saturday and they say their back hurts. You don't work on a Saturday, but you go, you know what? I'm driving for 10 minutes. I'll give them a call. I've done that multiple times just to touch base and try and provide some feedback and give some information to try and help. Those small pieces of gives go a long way. And that's kind of the theme of today's video, this podcast, giving. So for this text message thing, I'm not telling you to work very hard. What I'm telling you to do is talk to your clients like you normally do. You're on a rest period. Genuinely, congenially, without being too pushy, ask about their family. Learn about them. Learn about what they're struggling. Learn about what they're doing. Are they going on vacation? How are they feeling? What's next in their life? It's genuine conversation.
That's step one. Once
you build this genuine connection, you can then try to identify, is there a problem that you could try to provide some support for? Don't think of it like reciprocity. Like maybe there is this genuine thing where it's like, hey, I'm going to give you something and people might want to give back, but try not to think of it that way. Like for me, I genuinely think if I don't hear from this guy, but I send this video, worst thing that'll happen is he thinks good of me.
That was step 2. Sorry.
Worst thing. That's okay. Yeah. So step 2. So now we're going to prepare to genuinely give. And I would tell you, Glenn's got him, I got him. You can find a tripod for your iPhone or whatever you record with, iPad, Samsung phone, that you can literally record yourself like so. Don't buy a microphone. Don't go crazy with it, but literally push play and you go, hey, Glenn, my name is Brandon. Listen, Darren told me that you just had an ACL surgery and you're a few weeks out. Very quickly, 2 quick ideas for you. If you're struggling to get that mobility, instead of just stretching it, see if you can perform some isometric contractions at the end. Here's an example of 2. Once you start to feel better, an interesting thing that I've seen work really well for some of my clients is to do walking calf raises. So this sounds weird, but the calf, the gastroc, and the plantaris actually help to support your knee and provide stability around the ACL, PCL, MCL, and ACL, LCL. So if you can actually build muscular stability by walking on your toes from the bottom end, it's a very simple exercise you can literally do in the kitchen and could help you out. Anyway, Glenn, let me know how it goes. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Genuine give, simple, fast, nothing crazy. If I showed a couple exercises, that video would have been 90 seconds long and ultimately would have given Glenn or whomever I was speaking to a bit of help. The next step is the waiting game. Because I would encourage you to not be pushy with this. The idea of this is a genuine give. And if I can give Glenn or whomever some exercises, wait to see what they do. But you can ask your client, hey, Darren, I passed that video along to Bob. Has it helped out? Does he have any questions about that? Please tell him not to hesitate to reach out to me. And most of the time, if you made a good enough impact, at one point or another, this person, if they're still struggling, will give you a call. One example I'll give very quickly is there's one wife of a client that I was seeing for a while, and I sent a video in January, and she didn't contact me until September. And I didn't reach out again. But 9-10 months later, that relationship happened. Make the connection, genuinely talk to them, identify somewhere you might be able to help, send a video unsolicited, expecting nothing. And if you expect nothing, oftentimes you'll build a great relationship. And if not, at the very least, your own client build rapport because you reached out to try and help their family. And I love that.
I love it too. It's a really great, easy strategy. It literally, one of the best things about it, I think, is it literally takes next to no time to do. The stuff we talk to your client in session, see how they're doing, that's all time you're going to be in session anyways. There's no extra time out of your day. The most time you're taking is the 2 to 5 minutes to set your camera up, record, send it off to your client. That's pretty much it. Pretty much it. And this can help you grow your reputation. And reputation is something, especially if you're a personal trainer, where it's a one-on-one service in person and you're in a small town, kind of like we are, goes a really, really far, long way.
All right, buddy. So if you've been listening to this episode today, that is your training. Go back and listen to it. And please don't just listen to it and go, that was entertaining. Try it out. Try it on for size. Take one of your clients, find some information, send a video, try and help them. But quickly, before we move on and we put a pin in today, Glenn, what's your pick of the week?
My pick of the week is a way to think about getting stuff done. It's a way that I use personally to move my business forward, especially when I'm stuck and more when I'm feeling anxiety and overwhelmed. And chances are if you feel anxiety, this is going to be for you. Anxiety is an emotion we tend to feel when we know what we have to do, but we're not sure what we should be doing. And I've suffered for this for a long time in different ways of my life. And something that I've realized is that, well, if I know I have to market, but I'm not sure what to do, and someone just tells me to market, the best thing I could do is start chunking out that behavior. If I don't know what marketing it is, the first thing I do is research what marketing is. Step 2, what are the top 5 ways that I can market? Step 3, and then start reviewing and learning. And then from there, I can even just take the things that I have to do to grow my business a step further. So something I'm working on right now, so I want to grow my social media for January, February, March of this year. And I was really overwhelmed because I'm like, there's so many things I can do. Do I go on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook? Do I use Reels? Do I do that? What do I do here? And so what I started doing is I just started working backwards and chunking things up. I was like, okay, if I want to succeed at this, what do I do? Well, I've got to post. Okay, great. Well, what can I post? Well, I'm not really sure. Let me take a look and figure that out. So I researched. How do I post this? And by looking at what other people were doing, things that people Brandon were doing and other people in the industry, I got an idea of what I should be doing. Then from there, was just chunking things out. Record video, edit video, write out copy, tags, invite collaborators, post. And I have my 6-thing checklist I do every time I do a social media post. And made things a lot easier because now instead of having to think about it all the time, I've just automated the process. So if you're stuck and you know what you have to do, but there's some roadblocks along the way, oftentimes all you got to do is chunk out that thing you're working on, that behavior, into smaller, more digestible things, and then just tick things off the checklist until it becomes more automatic for you. And then you can move on to the next thing. So for me, my pick of the week this week is just going to be chunking out things that seem overwhelming to smaller pieces so they're more digestible so you can get it done and actually learn what you have to do and eventually automate the thought process for yourself.
Systematize it.
Systematizing.
Reverse engineer it. Make it happen.
Amen. Brandon, you're up. You're on deck. Pick of the week.
Simple. On social media, if you're on Instagram, one thing I've discovered recently that I think is great is scheduling posts. If you are trying to, there's a very cool thing I didn't know. Now, first and foremost, scheduling posts, I will say this, is a great way to make sure that you're consistent when you want to be consistent, but you will also get less engagement from scheduled posts than you will from when you organically post in a moment. But if you need to get content out there, you're going on vacation, like one of our clients is having a baby very soon, which is very cool, and they want to post consistently, they can batch schedule content. So if you go to Reels, you click Advanced, there's a section that says Schedule, you can schedule your Reels to come out, which is very, very cool. So this is a really important thing because many of us say, well, I want to try and get some content. I got an hour. I don't have time tomorrow. Great. Record 2 things today. Get them both set up, post one today, schedule one for tomorrow, and all of a sudden everything is flying. If you're in Facebook, you can do this within Facebook groups too, which is very great, but this allows you to batch content. So once you've systematized everything like Glenn is talking about, you can schedule posts out so you don't have to think about it for 1 week, and that is awesome. So systematize it, schedule it, and try and help some people.
Amen.
Everybody. Fitness Pro Mentors. Listen, if you're listening to us on Spotify or YouTube, please join the Fitness Pro Mentors Facebook group. These are live in there, where there's a lot more information in there. There's tons of master classes from years prior and lots of great student examples. But everyone, thank you so much for being here. Happy 2024. And we already got a banger of an episode scheduled in 2 weeks about limitations around your business that Glenn planned out. It's going to be hot. So be here in 2 weeks. It's going to be a good episode.
See you then, everybody.